Okay, let's tackle a question that is on just about every parent and educator's mind right now. How in the world do we prepare our kids for a future that's being completely reshaped by artificial intelligence? Let's get right into it. And look, this isn't some far off science fiction problem. It is happening right now. The old playbook for education is being torn up, and the skills that we all thought guaranteed success, well, they're not such a sure bet anymore. So what's next? So here's how we're going to break this down. First, we're going to look at what the new essential skills are, the things that really make us human. Then we'll explore two very different philosophies for teaching them. One we're calling the creator, and the other the collaborator. And finally, we'll tie it all together to see what the common goal really is. To figure out what we should be teaching, we first have to get clear on what AI can't do. I mean, as machines start handling more and more of the analytical heavy lifting, a completely different set of uniquely human skills becomes our kids' most valuable asset. Their superpower, really. Just look at the split here. It's pretty clear, right? On the left, you have skills that are all about processing information that already exists, memorizing things, following rules. AI is getting ridiculously good at that stuff. But over on the right, that's where it gets interesting. Creative problem solving, emotional intelligence, bouncing back from failure, using your own judgment. These are the human differentiators. The sources we're looking at call these right brain skills, and it's a really useful way to think about it. It's a shift away from just crunching numbers and toward creating, connecting, and adapting. This is the new bullseye. So, how do we actually build these skills in our kids? All right, let's explore the first philosophy. This path argues that the best way to build these essential skills is actually to step away from the screen and get our hands dirty. The core idea here is that true confidence and understanding, they're forged by making something real in the physical world. This quote really hits at the heart of their philosophy. The argument is that we've raised a generation of consumers who are passively watching other people create and live their lives online. The solution? We need to intentionally shift our kids from being just consumers to being producers, teaching them to be the main characters in their own lives. And when they say create, they don't just mean painting or drawing. Art here is defined way more broadly. It could be baking a cake, building a shelf, gardening, or even starting a little business. Every single one of these things is a training ground for problem solving and judgment, for turning a simple idea into a finished product. You see, the process is the lesson. When a kid is building something and the pieces don't fit, they learn to problem solve. When their first try fails and they have to start over, they build resilience. And when they finally hold that thing they made, that's a kind of deep, tangible confidence you just can't get from a textbook. It's earned. Now here's a fascinating and kind of radical idea from this path. Let kids be bored. Seriously. In a world where AI can give us an instant answer for anything, boredom becomes a competitive advantage. It creates this mental space, this empty canvas, where genuine creativity and truly original ideas, the very things AI can't just cook up, can finally bubble to the surface. Okay, let's switch gears completely and look at a different approach. This second path doesn't run from technology, it embraces it. It views AI as a powerful partner that can actually help kids develop those same essential skills of creativity and critical thinking. So how does this actually work? Well, take a look at this workflow. A student starts by just talking through their ideas with an AI companion. The AI then organizes that conversation into a visual mind map. Then, and this is the crucial part, the student writes the story on their own, making all the key decisions. And finally, the AI gives them instant positive feedback to help them improve. This quote absolutely nails the philosophy here. The goal isn't for the AI to do the work. The AI is a tool, a brainstorming partner, a feedback machine. But the human, the child, is always the decider. They're making the creative choices and judgment calls that an AI simply can't. And to measure what really matters, they've created this new metric called the Independent Thinking Index, or ITI. It doesn't just score the final essay. No, it actually assesses the thinking process that went into it, how the student chose their ideas, how they connected them, how they used their judgment. And their assessments give this kind of super clear, actionable feedback. It helps parents and kids see exactly where they're growing, not just in things like grammar, but in the really important areas like creativity, organization, and confidence. So we have two very different methods, right? One is unplugged and hands-on, the other uses AI as a direct collaborator. They seem worlds apart, but are they really? Let's see how they connect. Putting them side by side, yeah, the differences in method are obvious. The creator path is all about learning through physical making, even embracing boredom. The collaborator path is all about structured digital workflows and immediate feedback. Their tools are different, no doubt, but what about their destination? And here's the big reveal. Despite their wildly different approaches, they are both aiming for the exact same thing: to raise kids who are confident, resilient, and creative problem solvers. Children who can think for themselves and bring that unique human value to the table that no machine can ever replicate. So at the end of the day, this isn't really a tech versus no tech debate. The real question is about being intentional. Both of these paths are about teaching kids to be active creators, not passive consumers. Whether the tool is a hammer or an AI writing partner, the goal is the same: to purposefully build the skills that will always, always matter. Ultimately, we can't shield our kids from AI. That's not an option. The future requires them to live with it, to work alongside it. So the fundamental challenge for all of us is making sure we're teaching them how to be the thinkers, the creators, and the deciders in a world where machines can do almost everything else. So the final question is, are we truly preparing them for that role?